Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the latest edition of Wow, Lynch, Wow. Dedicated to filmmaker David Lynch and inspired by the triumphant return of Twin Peaks. A friendly warning to everyone who isn't caught up on all 18 episodes of the new Twin Peaks. There will be spoilers and they will begin shortly. So viewers and listeners, be warned. We first learned of the ring's existence when Sam Stanley discovered evidence of the missing ring on Teresa Banks' finger. Later, FBI Special Agent Chet Desmond informs Stan he's going to go back to the trailer park, and Sam understands this to mean he's going back for the Blue Rose. Desmond finds the ring under a trailer on top of a mound of dirt. He reaches for it and goes missing, never to be heard from again. We later see Agent Cooper at the same spot, and the trailer is no longer there, but we can still see the dirt pile. Carl informs Cooper that the two previous people renting this space were both named Chalfont. After that, we see Cooper with the arm in the Black Lodge. The arm holds the ring up, and Cooper says, "Don't take the ring, Laura." Laura seems to hear him. Then Laura gets her visit from Annie telling her to make the diary entry, and suddenly, the ring winds up appearing in Laura's hand. The next morning when she wakes up, she opens her hand and no ring. One-armed Mike was driving around, yelling loudly, trying to warn Laura about Leland. And Mike makes it a point to show Laura the ring, which Mike is wearing on his right pinky. When Mike is finally tracking down Bob as he races Laura and Ronette towards the train car, he does so with a great sense of urgency. And when Bob tosses Ronette out of the train car, Mike threw the ring inside. Bob then proceeds to murder Laura, and Mike leaves, stepping right over poor Ronette. So Mike and Cooper were clearly at odds here, and I think this is important. Cooper doesn't want Laura to take the ring. But Mike definitely wants her to have it. He goes out of his way to track Bob down, and it wasn't to save the girls. Mike doesn't give a shit about Ronette. He steps right over her, and he isn't there to stop Bob from killing Laura either. Mike's there to make sure she's wearing the ring when she does get killed. We'll get back to the conflicting goals on Mike and Cooper in a bit, but back to the ring. After Laura is killed, the next time we see the ring, it's being worn by the real Dougie Jones. He does a quasi-swap with Cooper, then Dougie's in the lodge, his hand shrinks and the ring falls off, and he's reduced to nothing more than a gold seed. Then we learn that Ray was given the ring by some mysterious prison guard, and we can safely assume that directly or indirectly, Mike was the one who gave Ray the ring. Ray failed in his task. So Bad Coop ultimately has Ray wear the ring, and when Bad Coop kills Ray, the ring drops onto the Black Lodge floor and Ray's body appears there soon after. Finally, we have Cooper finally waking up, Mike gives him the ring in the hospital, and Cooper ultimately places this ring on his dead doppelganger's finger. Bad Coop vanishes, and the ring and Bad Coop both arrive in the lodge. Laura and Ray didn't vanish, but Cooper's doppelganger did, and so did Dougie's tulpa, the difference being Dougie was exchanged indirectly for the real Coop. The demise of Bad Coop was certainly sudden and unexpected for me. I believe the giant ultimately tricked Bad Coop. When Bad Coop went through the entrance near Jack Rabbit's palace, he wound up in a cage right next to the giant floating head of Major Briggs. Near the giant, what we see is the Palmer House, but with a wave of his hand, the giant switches this to the Twin Peaks Sheriff's Station. The fireman wants Bad Coop at the Sheriff's Station, but by entering the portal, I believe Bad Cooper would have really ended up in the Palmer House were it not for the giant's meddling. This was Bad Coop's endgame from the very beginning. He told us as much when he showed Daria the card. It's the symbol Hawk warned Truman about. Jowday, now known as Judy, the mother of all evil. The thing that coughed up Bob and slaughtered poor Sam and Tracy. But by instead transporting him to the sheriff's station, Bad Coop was placed right in the midst of the fireman's trap. I'm not sure what Bad Coop intended to do if he found Sarah Palmer, whom I believe is definitely somehow directly connected with Judy, but whatever his plans were, they seem to have now fallen apart. Or have they? Agent Cooper's direct actions had very little impact on Bob's demise and the killing of his doppelganger. He did place the ring on the finger to send Bad Coop back, but Freddie and Lucy did all the heavy lifting, and the entire ordeal was orchestrated by the Giant. Cooper seemed to know that his role in this task was minimal, and that his true challenge still looms ahead. Cooper and Mike sought out Jeffries, and Cooper learned where to begin his search for Judy. And Mike seems to send him where he needs to go when Mike says electricity. And this is when Dale Cooper tries to take Laura home to alter her fate. So what the hell is going on here? First, Cooper didn't want Laura to have the ring, but Mike did. He hustled and went out of his way to give her the ring before she was murdered. But now, Cooper is once again trying to influence the fate of Laura Palmer. So did Mike have a change of heart? Is he working for or against Cooper here? And if he's working with him, what exactly has changed? I think Mike may still be working against Cooper here. We next see Mike in the lodge asking if it's the future or if it's the past. The last time we had seen him say this, Laura Palmer appeared, she kissed Cooper, and then she whispered something that upset him dearly. Then Laura Palmer was seemingly torn away from our fabric altogether. And this was the exact same sound we heard when Laura left his grasp when Cooper changed the past. It's also worth noting that before Laura vanishes with accompanying sounds of her demise, we hear the sounds that the Giant warned Cooper to listen for in the very beginning. It's as if Laura from the future lodge directly interfered with Cooper's attempted interference in the past. So I don't think Mike has the same goals regarding the mother and Laura. Mike doesn't seem to give a shit about them. The Giant was the one who created the Laura orb, and initially I thought that this was in response to the Bob orb. But now I think it's clear that the fireman was looking to extinguish the mother herself. And that's what Laura is up against, and it seems to be directly connected to her mother, Sarah. Cooper achieved his goal of altering Laura's fate, as evidenced by the glorious shot of Pete Martell happily fishing. But Laura seems extremely reluctant about allowing Cooper to bring her home. And I'm not so sure Mike really cares for her to do that either. This all seems to be driven by the Giant, but it's very difficult to understand the motivation of the various powerful entities, like the Giant, Mike, the Arm, and the Doppel Arm. I'm not sure what they each hope to achieve, and I'm not sure if there is any type of direct hierarchy involved here, but I do know that whatever Judy represents, as discovered by Major Briggs, Judy is a far more powerful and dangerous entity than Bob ever was. Cooper succeeded in bringing Laura home on his second effort, but the homeowner is a Tremont, and the previous owners were Chalfonts. Beyond Cooper already altering Laura's fate in the past, he's also altered the world around her. And beyond that, Cooper doesn't even know what year this is. So his plan of bringing Laura back to Sarah is failing miserably on all fronts. Cooper also seems to have entirely forgotten whatever it was he told the Giant he understood regarding Richard and Linda. Clearly, he didn't understand. Coop didn't understand at all. All Agent Cooper really succeeded in doing here was reminding Laura of all the horrible things that happened to her in that home. He stopped Bob from killing her, but he didn't stop all that Bob did before that. Since Cooper doesn't even know what year it is, it seems that his plan has quickly gone to absolute shit. I'm not sure what Cooper's endgame is here. I always thought that when Mike gave Laura the ring, I thought this was the key to her salvation. She was murdered, but Bob never possessed her. She seemed perfectly happy in the lodge with Cooper by her side. This, I'd always thought, was a happy ending for Laura Palmer. But Coop didn't want her to take the ring. Coop interfered before she met Jacques, Leo, and Ronette. And now Coop is tormenting this woman in trouble who goes by the name Carrie Page, but clearly is a shell for Laura's essence. What the fuck is Cooper doing? Will bringing Laura and Sarah together put Laura in a better place than where she already was? I mean, look how happy Laura is there. She looks thrilled to be in the lodge. But now Cooper is trying to coerce her into doing something she clearly is reluctant to try. Does this all boil down to Laura not wanting to destroy her own mother? Is that what she whispered to him? I won't kill my mother? That's all I got for now. Hope you all enjoyed, and have a wonderful night, everyone.